Some of you are even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
Thank you for joining us. Please take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. If you are finding value in these enrichment sessions, please consider supporting this page financially. Your donations allow us to continue to provide spiritual enlightenment, self-exploration, and kingdom knowledge. Also, consider becoming a partner because partnerships have this privilege. As a partner, you'll be able to attend our annual Partners Only Summer Summit, join us for our 6 a.m. virtual daily guided meditation sessions, weekly advanced empowerment sessions, regular prophetic insights and instructions, 30% discount on all Emerge books and merchandise, and a custom Emerge t-shirt. You'll also gain full access to the private Emerge Movement community page as well as group chats. Once again, thank you for watching.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Emerge Empowerment Session. You have tuned into one of the most powerful places on the planet where we give you the equipment that you need, the tools to be able to create, curate, and cultivate the life that you desire. This is the place where you're going to receive enlightenment, encouragement, and it's all love, ladies and gentlemen. It is all love. I'm so glad that you're joining me across all platforms this morning. And before we get started into this great conversation this morning, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. I'm going to ask you to share this live with as many people as you possibly can. Go ahead and take a moment and do it right now. Hit the share button and share this live with everybody, with your mama, your sister, your cousin, your brothers, your aunties, everybody. Just let everybody know that we are on and invite them to come and be a part of the conversation. Number two, I'm going to ask you to engage with this live. Please double tap the screen and let's run those likes up. I need for you to like, and share. Like and share this live with as many people as you can, and then tag your friends, families, and loved ones in the comments so that they're able to come over and participate in the conversation as well. It's going to be a great conversation this morning, a conscious conversation about the power of the soul power, the latent as well as active power of the soul. This is a really necessary and enlightening and empowering conversation. A conscious conversation that will help you to begin to create, cultivate, and curate the life that you desire. So you are tuned into the right place at the right time this morning. All right. So let's get into the conversation right now and begin. Yes, thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate that. Let's begin the conversation this morning and begin to really draw out a difference between the spirit and the soul. I want to begin right there because the two of them are often used interchangeably and people confuse one with the other. They're often mixed up or merged into the same thing or treated as though they are synonymous with each other. But they serve two very distinct and different roles within the divine architect of our being. Understanding their differences and their harmony as well is key to awakening our full potential and manifesting the life that we desire. So let's begin by defining what the spirit is. Let's define what the spirit is. So if you are taking notes, write in your notes or above this, defining the spirit. Defining the spirit. And this is going to be a very condensed definition. Of course, it's not comprehensive or expansive, but for the sake of this particular live, I'm going to give a very dense or rather very condensed, not dense, very condensed definition for spirit. The spirit is God. It is God in me and as me. It is God in you and as you. The spirit is the eternal essence of God that animates each and every one of us. It is pure, undivided, and unchangeable. It is not something we have, it is what we are. Let me say that again. The Spirit is not something that we have. I have the Spirit of God in me. No, the Spirit is something that we are at the core. It is the immutable presence of God, not only in us, but as us. Let me say that again. It is the immutable presence of God in us and as us. It is the I am that I am. And when we use that term or that phrase, we are literally saying, I am that I am. That I am, that's who I am. I am that I am. I am that presence, that power, that divinity. I am that I am. The Spirit is the divine spark. It is the breath of life. In the Genesis narrative allegory that's used in the Bible, it says that, and God breathed into man the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Listen to what it says. And God breathed the breath of life, that is the Spirit, the divine essence, the all of everything, the divinity, into man's form. And man, so man already existed as what? As spirit. And then man became. It cannot become unless it already exists. So man was spirit, but man became spirit that was also a living soul. Spirit that has a soul. It is the portion of the infinite source individualized as you and I. Spirit that we are is the portion of the infinite source, the all of everything, or God, that is individualized as us, within us, yet never separated from the whole. God is ubiquitous, that is omnipresent in every place and in all things. There is no place that God is not. So God is not only in us, but as us. But then God is not separate from the whole. So the individuation of us as a three-dimensional animated expression of God in form is all God, the I am that I am, yet not separated from the whole. In other words, there is no separation between you and God. No matter what religion has tried to tell you, no matter what society has tried to convince you of, there is no separation. It is the illusion of separation that causes so much distress, dysfunction, and frustration, anxiety, breakdown that goes on inside of us internally, because we somehow think that we are separated from God, that there is this chasm, a gulf between us, that God is somehow up there, you know, some old man sitting on the throne in the sky with a scepter and a crown. No, God is the divine presence that lives in us and through us and as us. There is no separation. You are one with God, and you are born one with God. You are your iteration of life that you are experiencing. You came into this three-dimensional experience as a divine animated expression of the all of everything of God. Literally, you are God in the flesh. Okay? You are divine spirit in flesh, in human form. It is not born and cannot die. This spirit that we are. It is consciousness itself, absolute being, presence, and power. It doesn't evolve. It doesn't learn. It simply is. And it is complete. It is perfect. And it is whole. Even the scriptures, the Bible text says in Colossians chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, you are complete in him. That him being God, even though God is not male or female, but it's just the terminology used of the time, but that we are complete in God. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Your spirit is the embodiment of divinity, and it is absolutely righteous and holy. It is absolutely pure and complete. You, as a divine spirit, have everything. Okay? You are in totality, complete, holy, and righteous. You don't have to try and be holy. You don't have to try and act holy. You don't have to achieve holiness. Me trying to be holy is like me trying to be black. I was born black. I don't have to try and be black. I'm born black. Black is who I am. So blackness does not define me. I give definition to blackness. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay? And so in like manner, I am born holy. I am born complete. I am born righteous. Righteousness, holiness does not give definition to me. I give definition to holiness. I am the personification of what holy, that is set apart, is. Sacred, set apart, chosen, selected, perfected, and pure and complete. I and you are the personification of what holy is, because we are divine spirit animated in three-dimensional form that has a soul. I don't want to get stuck there because I've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So when we say God in me and as me, we are affirming that spirit expresses through our unique form and personality without ever being diminished. Spirit is the divine will, the cosmic intelligence, the ever-present now that knows no limits and no boundaries. It is the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, and omniactive divine, and we are divinity animated in human form. Even again, if I draw from biblical texts, because I'm very familiar with it, I've done a lot of research on it. The biblical text says that the same spirit, that same essence, power, force, energy, that same divinity that raised Jesus from the dead is the same spirit that quickens. The word there, quickens, means to make alive or to animate. It is the same spirit that animates your human form, and man became a living soul. The breath of life animated this three-dimensional lifeless form, and man became a living soul. Now, that brings me to defining soul. The word soul that's used in the Hebrew text in the Bible is the word nephesh. In the Greek text of the New Testament, it is the word psyche, from which we get the word psychic and psychological. It is our psyche. Okay, so the soul is something different, while the spirit is pure, holy, and complete. It does not evolve. It does not change, the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. It is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and omniactive. The soul is the vehicle of expression for the spirit. Let me explain it to you. The soul, our soul, is the vehicle of expression for our divinity, or the spirit that we are. You see, the soul is the bridge between spirit and human experience. It is the instrument through which the spirit expresses itself in time, in space, and in form and feeling. The soul is the vehicle through which the spirit, the complete, pure, holy, nothing missing, nothing broken, part of who I am, essence of who I am, the essence of God, is able to experience and express and to experience and express itself in time, in space, in feeling, and in form. You see, before we came into being, before all humanity was created and God was all there was, all there is, that's what I call God, because that is the best definition I can come up with. God is the all of everything. So the all of everything is all that there was, and all that there was not. Because you cannot be the all that is if you are not the all that is not as well. Yet God could only know itself as the all there is conceptually. It could not know itself experientially, because it was the all there is and the all there is not, and the all there is not did not have form. It did not exist tangibly. So in order for the all there is to experience all there is in the all that is not. This is found in Psalms chapter 8. What is man that thou art mindful of him, or the son of man that thou visited him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angelic, a little lesser form. But you have crowned mankind with glory, that is all knowledge, and honor, all presence, the presence of the divine in us. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And so the all there is became the all there is not, so that it could experience and express itself in three-dimensional form. That's you and I. So as the vessel of God, our body, the dwelling place, the temple of God, in which God lives, abides, and moves, it provides us a soul. Man breathes the breath of life, and God breathes the breath of life, and man becomes a living soul. The soul then is the vehicle through which the divine spirit, that is the all of everything, that is the essence of who we are, has a vehicle to experience and express itself in three-dimensional form in this terra firma that we call earth. So whereas the spirit is being, never changing, the same yesterday, always, and forevermore, complete and perfect, nothing missing, nothing broken. The spirit is being, the soul is becoming. So we are both being and becoming simultaneously. We are being complete, divine, holy, pure, nothing missing. But we have a soul that is becoming. It is evolving and growing and expanding and expressing. And with every experience and expression, it becomes more evolved and begins to elevate and accelerate in its experience and expression of the all of everything that is of God. It evolves, it expands, it remembers, it chooses, it feels. The soul does. It holds the record of our journey, our memories, our intentions, our desires, and our life lessons that we've learned. The soul is divinely absorbing as well as exuding, absorbing all of the experiences that we have in this three-dimensional world, but also exuding all of the energy, force, and power and immutability of the divine spirit that we are. It is expressing and expanding. Let me say again, the soul is expressing the divinity that we are and expanding its intuitive knowing, knowledge, and feeling and detachment that the soul experiences. It is going through an evolutionary process and journey. So in each of our cases as part of humanity, we are both being and becoming at the same time, simultaneously. Being divine in nature, being divine at our core, and becoming at the soul level as we evolve with every experience and every expression. The soul is both receptive and creative, a dynamic field of potential shaped by intention, attention, and emotion. It is the canvas upon which the masterpiece of our life is painted. And so today, what I want to focus on is the power of the soul. That was all introduction. This is the meat of the matter. This is the focal point. We want to talk about soul power, the latent power, and the active power of our soul. Your soul is a powerful thing. Your soul is a powerful, untapped, untouched potential that most go through this life without ever fully embracing or knowing even about, and thereby living a haphazard, accidental life. Just whatever happens, whatever unfolds, you kind of fall into it, and there's no real rhythm or rhyme or reason to it. You're just kind of going with the flow. But when you begin to understand and tap into the latent as well as active powers of the soul, you start to live an intentional life, and you start to create, cultivate, and curate the life that you desire. I am come. The I am is come. The I am is resident within us, that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. Operative word being might. That you will have the opportunity, that you will have a chance, that you will have the occasion, you will have the ability and the capacity to experience abundant life, but only if you become knowledgeable of and take advantage of both the latent and active power of the soul that is innate within you, loaded and coded in your DNA, so that you can begin to create, cultivate, and curate the abundant life that you desire. And that looks different for every individual. Every individual has a different experience in life, a different journey, a different path of evolution that brings them to the place of the highest levels of consciousness, being the highest and greatest version and vision of their life. So let's talk about what these powers are. I'm going to list them, then unpack them. They are creative power, the curating and cultivating power experience, the limitless capacity for greatness, the boundless ability to retain knowledge, our intuitive nature, and finally, our depth of feeling and attachment. Now I'm going to go through them and I am going to unpack each one of them and single out which are latent, which are active, and how we begin to engage with each one of them. Are you ready? Are y'all ready? Let's get into it. So let's talk about what, first of all, these two terms mean. The latent power and active power. The soul contains both latent and active powers that enable us to shape our own reality. To again, create, cultivate, and curate the life that we desire. Let's talk about what they mean. The word latent means dormant, literally dormant, but always present. It's not absent, it's just lying there inside of us, loaded and coded into our DNA, Sharon. Yes, indeed, lying there, cautiously waiting, awaiting activation through intention, experience, and spiritual awakening. Latent is dormant power. Did you know that you have power within you that's lying dormant? That you have amazing, infinite, limitless, boundless power within you to create, cultivate, and curate, but it's just lying dormant within you? Do you realize that so many of us are doing what I use as an analogy, starving in the middle of a grocery store? Starving in the middle of a grocery store, living as a pauper when we are indeed a multi-billionaire, trillionaire. That we are living far beneath the levels of our real experiences that are possible and potential simply because we have these latent powers, these dormant powers within us that we are unaware of, and they are unactivated. Latent power lays dormant, waiting for activation. Waiting for us to activate it through intention, experience, and a spiritual awakening, which is what I hope you're experiencing right now through this teaching, that you are getting a spiritual awakening. I got 28 minutes, so come on and listen fast. Active power, however, are powers that are always and already at use inside of us, either consciously or unconsciously, because there are powers that are actively working inside of each one of us. And in many cases, it is unconscious because we are unaware of it. No one has taught us. No one has told us. No one informed us. We're just navigating and matriculating through this life. And these powers are at work, working on our behalf, and sometimes feeling like working against us because we have no understanding or even awareness of them. And therefore, when you don't have an awareness and understanding of them, you can't give them intention. You can't give them focus and direction. But when you become aware of them, then they begin to work consciously for you, that is intentionally and focused on your behalf. You get to direct that energy, direct that force, that vibrational frequency toward what it is that you desire. That's the difference between latent and active. Latent is dormant. Active is already at work, consciously or unconsciously, and it can be defined and refined. Okay? So let's go through these powers. First, there is our creative power. Creative power is latent power. It is dormant power. The soul has the capacity to imagine, design, and to manifest. When aligned with the divine will, its creative power becomes miraculous. It draws on spiritual substance and gives it form through the process of manifestation, which is, of course, thoughts, words, and actions, deeds. Thought, words, and deeds are the process of manifestation. But why then do we call it latent? While all souls have creative power, most is used unconsciously, repeating patterns, creating chaos, and even sometimes limitations. True divine creation is a latent power until it is aligned with conscious intention and spiritual clarity. It is latent because we've not been told or taught about this divine power within us to create, that we will have whatsoever we say, that our thoughts become things, that our actions create an equal and opposite reaction, that our thought, words, and deeds, when aligned harmoniously, create manifestation, that we are creating a reality for ourselves, and in most cases we are doing so unconsciously. We are doing it unaware, because we've never been taught, we've never been trained, we've never been informed, and we are completely unaware of it. And so we are actively putting this power to work, and in many cases causing it to work against us. So you think with a poverty mindset, speak with a poverty language, and act in poverty ways, and you create a reality of poverty, suffering, and scarcity. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? You've been told your whole life, you poor, broke, busted, and disgusted. And so you think with poverty mindset that there's not enough or just enough. I'm barely making it. Can't hardly make two. It ends me. I don't have enough. I don't know how I'm going to make it. Then you start speaking that way. Child, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. One day I'm going to be rich and famous, but right now I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus, and I don't have this, and I can't, and I ain't got, and I don't know. And then you act in that manner. So you behave in a way that is cheap and laborious and scarcity, like, oh, let me penny pinch and hoard and hold on to every nickel and dime and scratch and save and what the song say? Keeping my head above water, making a way if you can. Temporary layoff, good time. What? I don't know how that got to be good time. Okay? Scratching and surviving, good time. No. Standing in a child line, good time. Ain't we lucky we got it? No. Okay? And so you act, speak, and think from a poverty mindset, and you create that reality. We all live in the matrix of the reality that we create for ourselves. Let me say that again. It is one of my favorite Isaac-isms. We all live in the matrix of the reality that we create for ourselves. Your life is a manifestation of your thoughts, words, and deeds. Your beliefs are what are creating your circumstance. You are living in a three-dimensional, tangible reality of your own imagination. The figment of your imagination has become the figure of your life, because you are a creative being. You think it, and it is so. You believe it, and you manifest it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Huh? Okay? So what you think, what you speak, how you act creates the reality that you live in. This is a power that is lying within your soul, loaded and coded into your soul and its being. It is equipped and designed to create a real, natural, tangible experience that mirrors what you believe is your reality. You see, the universe is not imposing upon you. You are imposing and imprinting upon the universe. The universe is a giant copy machine that only reproduces what you put out into it. So you send out negativity, and it gives you negativity. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. If you put out prosperity, joy, and peace, it will give you prosperity, joy, and peace. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The kingdom of God is in you. Listen to what I just said. The kingdom of God, that is the power, the essence, the presence of God, is not out there. It is in you. And what you radiate as a magnetic force outside of you draws the universe and all of nature into obedience to give you a visible presentation of what you have accepted to be your reality. So if you don't like the life you're experiencing, change it, because you're the only one who can. Not some faraway being, not some preacher, some prophet, not some psychic or guru. You are the only one who can change it. I gotta keep going. Which brings me to the next power: curating and cultivating your experiences. This is an active power for reasons that I just gave you. You are constantly, whether consciously or unconsciously, creating your lived experience. You are creating, curating, and cultivating your experience every single moment of the day. You are curating and cultivating it. The soul curates life like an artist curates a gallery, selecting what to experience and how to grow and what to release. It cultivates wisdom through trial and reflection, evolving through cycles of transformation. You and I are not only creating, but curating and cultivating our lived experiences. You are living in the tangible reality of what you have exalted as your truth in your own mind. As a man thinketh, come on, y'all know that principle. As a man thinketh, so is he. As you think, because what you think informs what you say. What you say informs how you act. And when your thoughts, words, and actions align harmoniously on whatever it is, whether positive or negative, it creates a lived reality. Are you hearing me? So, the latent power is the creative. The active power is the cultivating and curating, gathering to yourself, drawing magnetically into your reality. You are unconsciously creating a loop and a cycle for your life. If you keep experiencing the same things again and again and again, it's not a devil, it's not a demon, it's not a witch, it's not a Hank, it's not an evil spirit, it's not any of these other mythological creatures created by religion. It is you. You are the problem. You are the issue. And you are the catalyst that can change your reality. It is you. Not your brother, not your cousin, not your mama, not your culture, not your environment, not your religion, not the world around you. It is you. You have to go inward and begin to become consciously aware of this power of the soul to cultivate and curate the life you desire, and then begin to attach some intentionality and focus to it so you can start to create a reality that aligns with your deepest desires. Man, are y'all following me? If you're liking what you're hearing so far, I need you to double tap the screen and give me some likes and hearts. I need to know that you're listening and that you're in agreement and that you are enjoying what you're learning right now. Go ahead, double tap. Remember to like and share this live with everyone. I need to see some hearts flowing up. Come on, y'all, don't be stingy with the likes now. Double tap. Okay, if you want to give a gift, you can, but I need you to give me those likes. Come on, double tap. Give me those hearts. I need hearts flowing from every direction. Let's move to the third one. So we talked about creative power, latent, curating and cultivating, active. Now a third one is our limitless capacity for greatness. The soul has a limitless capacity, a vast, immeasurable, limitless in its potential for greatness. It holds within it the blueprint for divine expression. It is waiting to be awakened inside of each and every one of us. It is capable of expansion beyond what the mind can even begin to grasp. Remember that God in you is the divine spirit, and it is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all you could ask or even think or imagine. So the soul is the vehicle that gives expression to that ability. And the soul then has the capacity, the infinite, limitless capacity to begin to expand beyond what you can even begin to think or imagine, to create experiences outside of the realm of your imagination. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's just waiting to be awakened inside of you. It is able to expand beyond what the mind can grasp because it lives beyond the level or the boundaries of our intellect. This is a latent power, a dormant power that lies present within us, loaded and coded in our DNA, waiting for activation, waiting for us to give expression to it. Most people are unaware of the magnitude of their soul's greatness. They have been conditioned through beliefs and trauma and social programming and environment and religion. Often it clouds out this truth, and you have been programmed to believe that there is something wrong with you, something broken in you, that you need rescuing and saving. Come on, that you were born in error, born a sin, born broken, born busted, and departed, separated from God. That is a greasy, fat lie. I'm going to say it again until I make every religious person pissed and angry and mad at me. There is nothing wrong with you. You were not born wrong. You were not born in error. You were not born in sin. You are not born broken. You are not in need of saving. You are not in need of rescuing. You were born righteous, holy, and pure because you are the divine expression, emanation, and animation of God. So God is pure, holy, and unchangeable, which means you were born pure, holy, and unchangeable. You have a soul that will expand, grow, and evolve, that will make choices and decisions along the way that do not align harmoniously with your divine nature. But because I act in a way that doesn't align with who I actually am, does not change who I am. Did y'all hear what I said? I said that because you act in a way that does not align with who you are, does not change who you are. If I am a billionaire, okay, if I am a trillionaire, I can put on ragged, tattered, torn up clothes, live on the street, eat out of garbage cans, and walk around busted and dirty and nasty and stinking. And I look like a homeless person. I act like a homeless person. I speak like a homeless person. I think of myself as a homeless person. But it doesn't change the fact that I am a trillionaire. It simply means I am not accessing what is available to me. My God, that's good right there. Did you hear what I just said? It does not change the fact of who I am. I am a trillionaire. I am God in the flesh. I am pure, holy, righteous. I am complete in God. Now, my actions, my language, my thoughts may not align with that. It may not reflect that. It doesn't change who I am. It simply demands rather that I awaken to who I am so I can start acting, thinking, speaking like who I am and start accessing what's available to me. I'm telling you that there is limitless, oh my goodness, infinite capacity and greatness and power available to you as a divine spirit, but that your soul's reactions, thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors may not reflect that. The moment you awaken, which is what I hope you're doing right now through this teaching and this empowerment session, the moment you awaken to who you really are, you can begin to channel the soul's energy, tap into it to access that divinity, that omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, and omniactiveness to create a new reality and to live pure, holy, righteous, upright, and reflect the God that you are. Are you hearing me? So you start looking like, talking like, acting like, speaking like, thinking like the God that you are. Are you hearing me? Yes, dance. Kimura says, awaken to who you are. I am that I am. Yes, I'm a trillionaire. That doesn't shift because I'm not consciously aware. My Father is rich. That is my creator. My origin story is of richness. The houses and lands and cars and whatever, all of it already belongs to me. I simply had to be made consciously aware of it so I'm able to access it and then attain it and draw it into my three-dimensional reality. Are you hearing me? I got to keep going, man. Go ahead there. I'm running out of time. I got to hurry. Okay. So the next power The next power. We talked about creating. We talked about curating the experiences. We talked about our limitless capacity for greatness, recognizing who we are. But now I want to talk about this other power of the soul. It is the boundless capacity for knowledge. The boundless capacity for knowledge. There is nothing that God doesn't know. Everybody agree with that statement? There is absolutely nothing that God doesn't know. If you agree with that, shoot some hearts up on the screen right quick. Give me some likes real quick. Nothing that God doesn't know. Everybody in agreement with that? I need to see a ton of hearts that show agreement. Nothing that God does not know. God is omniscient. All knowledge begins and ends with God. God is the all of everything, the totality of all things. Nothing that God does not know. Nothing that will ever happen, nothing that has ever happened, nothing that is happening that God is not completely, consciously aware of. Now, here's the part that's going to be a little bit harder for you to swallow. Since you are the animated expression of God in form, since you are God in the flesh, your spirit, there is nothing that you don't know. If God is in you, if God is as you, if you are God in the flesh, then it is impossible for there to be nothing that God doesn't know and there'll be something that you don't know. So there is nothing that you don't know. You know everything. You are omniscient. Now, I'm listening to some of you right now as I'm saying it, because you're going like, wait a minute, there's a whole lot of things that I don't know. You know it. You just don't remember. You don't know that you know. Your soul, your conscious awareness has not completely aligned with your divine knowing. In your spirit, you know. In your conscious mind, your soul, you're unaware. And what you call learning is actually remembering. Look at that word. Remembering. Putting back together. Reassembling. Reminded. Reconfiguring. Rejoining it. Putting it back together. That knowledge lies in your divinity. It is a part of who you are. It is the knowing, your divine knowing. But your conscious mind has yet to remember what you know. So what you call learning is being reminded to remember what you've always known. That's the reason that you have that feeling of euphoria when someone is teaching you something, a light comes on and you go like, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. It is your spirit and soul bearing witness to what it has always known. That's why you feel that rush of adrenaline and that feeling of euphoria, because the soul is once again awakening to what the spirit has always known. And it comes into the conscious mind like a rush of energy, like a rush of light, like a beaming intensity of light, lighting up the corner cracks and crevices of the mind that had been darkened because of our environment, our culture, our religion, our experiences, our trauma that taught us to believe something that was antithetical to what we already knew. Listen to what I just said. Belief is in many cases the enemy of knowing. Woo! Good Good Lord. I said belief in many cases is the enemy of knowing, because what you believe often contradicts what you know. What you believe on a soul level, a conscious level, is antithetical to what your spirit already knows. You've been taught to believe. You came here knowing. Good gracious Lord. Okay, calm down. Yeah, I don't want to get too crazy. I said you've been taught to believe, but you came here knowing. Let me say it again. You came here knowing, nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing out of the scope of your knowing, but you were taught by your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your environment, your culture, your religion, your experiences, your trauma. You were taught to believe. And in most cases, those beliefs were antithetical to what you know and have always known. Your soul has a limitless capacity to know. It's just waiting for you to give it the space, to create the space for the spirit to release that knowing into your conscious mind. Your soul is constantly recording like a giant supercomputer, recalling, remembering, recording everything, and always bringing it back to your remembrance. Are you hearing me? The moment that you open the corridors and allow the light of the Spirit to come now shining into your conscious mind. You need a text or a scriptural text for it. I got some Bible for you. Though that it says in the scripture, it says this. He says that, oh goodness, it just left my mind just that quick. Wait a minute. If this good news is hidden, this gospel, this good news, this revelation is hidden, it is hidden to those who are lost. What makes them lost? He goes on to tell you, whose minds have been blinded. Are you hearing me? Whose conscious awareness has been blinded. How is it blinded? By our experiences, our traumas, our culture, our environment, our religion. Blinds our mind, domesticates our thinking, programs the way that we see and perceive things. It says it is lost to us, this good news, this liberty, this freedom, this insight, this knowing is lost because our mind has been blinded. Lest the light of the glorious gospel, the light, the insight, the knowing of the good news should flood in and we start living in the reality of what we know rather than what we've been taught to believe. Do you realize that most of us are living in a condition of scarcity and poverty and hardship because we have been taught that that's the way we're supposed to live, that there's something good, righteous, pure, and something great about struggle, about being poor, about being broke, about scuffle, about suffering, that we've been taught that suffering is a good thing, that we've been taught that it's okay for you to struggle, that everybody struggles. Ain't nobody got it all together. Don't nobody have this, that, and that's a fact of life. And so you accept that as your truth, that becomes your belief, and you can begin to create, cultivate, and curate a life that aligns with that belief. But that belief is antithetical to the truth. The knowing in your spirit is, I was not born to participate. I was born to create, cultivate, curate, and to take over. To live the life that I desire to live. The experience is the point. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Am I getting through? Man, I'm going over my time. I gotta hurry. I wish I had more time to spend on that right there. Okay? Your soul knows what the conscious mind has yet to comprehend. Let me say that one more time for the people sitting in the back. Your soul already knows what the conscious mind has yet to comprehend. And we just need to remember. Everybody put in the comments, remember, remember, remember. Put a hyphen between re and member. Remember, reassemble, reconstruct, remind, reconfigure. Put it back together again. Recall what we came here knowing. That's why you have these intuitive knowings about things that consciously you were saying, there's no way I should know this, but you do. You do. Why do you do? Because you know everything. You just don't know that you know what you know. But this live is about helping you to ascertain your ability to focus this particular power so that you will know that you know what you know without having anyone to tell you that you don't know. You know that you know what you know and access the knowing that's inside of you so that your belief can now be submitted to what you know. Let me keep going. The next power is your intuitive nature. This lines up with this infinite capacity to know. Your intuition is what kicks in and causes you to remember and start to recognize that you know what you consciously think. How did I know that? How did I know to go left and not to go right? How did I know to go in and not to go out? How did I know to make this choice and not that choice? How did I, but you call it something. Something told me not to do this. Something told me not to go there. Something told me not to act, not to say that. Something inside of me. That is the soul's intuition. That is the soul's connection to the knowing of your divine spirit and screaming into your conscious mind saying, this ain't it. No, you know better. You know better. You know better. Your intuition screams. It's that gut feeling that you get where everything around you in the tangible world says go right, but your gut keeps saying you need to go left. Everything in the tangible world aligns and looks beautiful and favorable with your going right. Right is the way to go. This is what you ought to do. This is the choice. This is the decision. But something deep within your gut, something deep within your chest, something screaming deep from inside you keeps telling you, go left. That is the soul screaming from the chambers of the spirit, the place of knowing, telling you, this is what you know. You know better. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Okay? Intuition is always present, though not always heeded, not always listened to. How many times have you had something told me, but I did this anyway? Something told me, but I chose that anyway. Something told me, something told me not to get involved with him. Something told me that she wasn't right. Something told me not to go over there. Something told me, but you just did it anyway. Intuition is always 100% right. Let me say that again for the people sitting in the back. Your intuition is always 100% right. And you need to listen to your intuition because it is giving voice to your knowing that is emerging from the spirit that you are. It is God talking. Shit. Okay, it's not James Earl Jones from the outside. Yes, this is God speaking. This is CNN. No, No, it is that gut feeling within you. It is that voice screaming from within that sounds like your own voice, because it is your spirit saying to you, don't do it, or do it. Make this choice. Make this decision. And it is always 100% right. And every time you ignore it, you end up in the land called regret. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. Come on. Every time you've ignored it, every time you calling it red flags now. Okay, y'all, you can call it red flag, blue flag, green flag, yellow flag. But it is your intuitive knowing that's screaming at you. And every time you ignore it, you end up in the land of regret. I wish if I had known then what I know now. Well, you did know. You just didn't listen. Oh, y'all getting ready to get really mad with me now. I said you did know, you just didn't listen. So you can stop blaming them and everybody else and all the other folks. You can blame right back to you. You knew, you just didn't listen. How you gonna say I know? No, I didn't know. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because there's a principle that's even in scripture that says that when the Holy Spirit has come, that is the comforter that lives inside of you, its job, its responsibility, its purpose for existing in you, through you, and as you, watch this, is to lead and guide you into all truth. That means that before you make a choice, a decision, or anything, the Holy Spirit of God that you are within you is yelling, screaming, and flashing neon signs telling you this is not the right choice. And you had to override it in order to make the choice anyway. You had a feeling, you had an unction, you had an intuition, you had a knowing inside of you about every single choice. And you chose to ignore it. You chose. Based on culture, based on environment, based on outside influences, based on religion, based on trauma, based on brokenness, based on hurt, no matter what it's based on, you knew, but you chose to follow your hurt, follow your pain, follow your programming, follow your training, follow your religion, follow your cultural and influences, follow your family influences, follow your trauma. Instead of, in all your ways, acknowledge it, the divine within you, the Spirit of God that lives within you. Acknowledge it, not what you see. This is what walking by faith is, and not by sight. It's saying that no matter what it looked like on the outside, I got to listen to what's being said on the inside. Good day. I said, no matter what it looked like, sound like, smell like, taste like, feel like on the outside, I've got to tune in to the frequency of the voice that is being spoken from within. Because that one is always 100% right. And let me help you out. Let me help you out real quick. Let me just slide this little piece in. Let me slide it. Can I slide this little piece in? Right and wrong is relative to you. Because what may be right for you may be wrong for another person. And what may be wrong for them may be right for you. So right and wrong is relative to you. So it being wrong doesn't make it wrong universally. It just makes it wrong for you. Come on. Let me use an analogy that you can all relate to. You ever been with somebody that was an absolute disaster of a partner for you? And now you see them years later with somebody else and they are absolutely wonderful. Now, ego wants to tell you, well, I was the one who got them ready for the person that this other person reaping the benefits of my work. No, they're not. They just weren't right for you. They were right for them. No, they're not. Come out your ego. You ain't shaped and molded nobody into being nothing. You can't even shape and mold yourself right now. Don't talk about what you did. I got him ready for somebody else. He a better man because of me. No, he ain't no better man because of you. He was a better fit for them. He wasn't a good fit for you. She was a better fit for them. She wasn't a good fit for you. And you and your ego start sitting up there getting melancholy and sad because now you jealous of how good they are with the other person. But they weren't meant for you. If they were meant for you, then things would have gone differently. But you weren't compatible. And you knew it. Come on. Come on. You knew. You knew. I don't care how many years you were together. You knew. You spent years trying to make it work. Make it work. Anything that's for you, anything that's aligned with your divine energy, and that is a source of your harmony and peace. Listen, you don't have to make it work. It works. Even through hard times, disagreements, even through fights and failures and everything else, it just simply flows. It works. Flowing and works doesn't mean that there are not going to be hiccups and bumps along the way. It just simply means that those things do not deter you. They are not enough to bring a complete and total breakdown. It simply works. You don't have to make something work that is designed for you. It works. Oh, Lord, I done got all off subject. Let me come back. Your intuitive knowing. You knew. Come on, I need everybody to be honest with me and confess in the comments. I knew it. I'm going to stop lying and blaming everybody else. Let me just put in the comments. I knew it. Come on. I'm going to see how many honest people I got online with me today. Go ahead, put it in the comments. Just write it. I knew it. Oh, I knew it. I knew. Y'all writing real slow now. I don't see nobody putting no confessions in there. Oh, y'all trying to act like you didn't know. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Lady BJ. There you go, Willie. I knew it. There you go, Ara Marie. I appreciate you. I knew it. Oh, y'all come in over here. There you go, Theresa. There you go, Sharon. I knew it. But I did it anyway. I was drawn away and enticed by my own lust. Oh, God, have mercy. Oh, never mind. We're going to leave that right there. I got to keep going. I got to get this last one in. The final one that I want to show you is the depth of feeling and attachment. The depth of feeling and attachment. This is an active power of the soul. The soul feels everything deeply. Listen to me. Your soul feels, it doesn't matter whether you're a Cancer, Leo, or Virgo, all those things. You feel things deeply. You may not show it, especially if you're a Capricorn or an Aquarius. Y'all some rough, Ishande Kesa. You may not show it, but you feel deeply. The soul feels deeply everything. Because emotion is a part of the language of energy in motion. Emotion. Energy in motion. And feelings are the language of emotion. It forms a sacred attachment to things. Not out of dependency, but out of its desire to experience love, connection, loss, grief, joy, peace, harmony, tranquility. Are you hearing me? The soul desires to experience those things. The spirit is the producer of joy and peace. And okay, so you have it, but experiencing it, expressing it is necessary through the vehicle of the soul, and it desires it. It longs to experience it, not as dependency, but just the desire to experience it, because the experience is the point. It wants to experience love. It wants to experience connection. It wants to experience loss and grief, because the experience is the point. There's a lot you can learn from loss and grief. It wants to experience that peace, that tranquility, that harmony and alignment. The soul is eager for experiences that help it to expand and grow. No, I'm talking about y'all Aquarius and Teresa. Yes, I am. And y'all Capricorns too. I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying, y'all know how you are. Okay? So the soul has the capacity to not only feel deeply, but to form these attachments and attractions that allow it to experience all of these different feelings and emotions, these energies in motions. When energy is kinetic, that is in motion, it is constantly forming, transforming, and transmuting, so that the soul has a different, unique experience with every event that takes place. And that is what your soul is craving. The sunshine and the rain, the happiness and the pain, the joy and the sadness, the polarity of it all. Are you hearing me? Because the experience is the point. Because remember, reassemble what I told you earlier. That the spirit is God animated as you, and it is doing so that it can express itself, but it can also experience itself. The soul is the vehicle through which God expresses and experiences itself in three-dimensional form. And the experience is the point. That's why there is no wasted experience. There is no experience that is right or wrong relative to you. That is good or bad. It's relative to you. The experience is the point. And listen to this. This is going to really make some of my churchy, religious folk pissy and mad with me. God has no preference whatsoever about the experience. God has no preference. I know the church world gave God a preference, and that preference was based upon the humans who were saying it. It's the truth. God don't like it when you do this, that, and the other. How do you know what God like and what God don't like? How you going to try and narrow God down to your human likes and dislikes? Put him inside of your proverbial box and say God thinks like you and likes like you and dislikes what you dislike, and God gets angry. What you mean God gets angry? You mean you angry. That's what you mean. You don't get to assign those feelings to God. God has no preference. God simply wants to have the experience. The experience is the point, so that God can experientially know itself as the magnificent being that it is, the source of all, the all of everything. The all of everything. God is the all of everything, not just what you call good, not just what you call proper, not just what you call pure. God is the God, the all of everything. Thus, it's omniscience and omnipresence. There is no place that God is not. So God is in your church, but God is in the whole house, and God is in the crack house. Y'all ain't saying nothing. God is in your worship and your praise, even though he never asked you for that. Oh, Lord. Never mind, I said that. I'll explain that another day. But he's also in your cussing and fussing. God is on. Yes. I cuss you in Jesus' name. I'm kidding about that piece right there. Not in Jesus' name. Oh, Lord have mercy. No, but the cussing does not deter, upset, or offend God. People are offended, but God's not offended by you cussing. You think God don't know about cussing? God invented cussing. Language is God's handiwork. And cussing ain't nothing but language that humanity decided is acceptable and unacceptable. God ain't had nothing to do with that. Humanity decided this language we'll accept, this language is profane. Who decided that? Who gave y'all the right to decide? No, but the Bible does not explicitly say, it does talk about profane speech, but it does not define what profane is. It does not say shit, damn, and motherfucker is profane. Oh, I just shocked some folk just then. I know all my religious folk about to turn me off and say, listen, I was with you, bro, but now you done started cussing. I can't listen. My holy ears. Yes, yeah, he coming on the side, coming on the under. Okay, God didn't make that decision. Mankind made that decision. God is not offended and has no preference. None whatsoever. The experience is the point. Okay, Gloria said, I love it when I can cuss. Cuss, Gloria. Get your cussing on there. It's hard for me to imagine you cussing, Gloria. You're such a sweet, kind woman. It's just hard for me to even imagine. But I'm sure you can do it now. You can do it, put your back into it. Oh my goodness. Okay? Because the soul has this capacity for deep feeling and attachment, and it wants to experience all of these things to give the all of everything the experience, a unique divine experience through each one of us as an individuation of God in three-dimensional form. Each one of us are a divine expression of God. So I want to leave you with this key truth. The soul holds infinite power, but power must be recognized to be realized. The latent powers are like seeds in fertile ground. They require attention, awareness, alignment in order to bloom. The active powers, though already at work, become transformative when consciously mastered. To become the architect of your life and not just a passenger, you must awaken the latent and refine the active. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is the path to soul mastery. And the objective is to master the power, both latent and active, of the soul. I hope that you enjoyed this teaching this morning. I had fun teaching it to you. This was a wonderful, powerful, and enlightened time of sharing and conscious conversation. Thank you so much for the likes. Continue to load me up on them as I'm closing out. This is a good time for you to start double tapping. Run up those likes while I'm doing my closing remarks. Please do that. Okay? Your likes help to expand the reach of this platform. So please double tap. Let's try and get it up there. We're almost at 10,000 likes. So let's go. Let's get it all the way there. Let's get there. Okay? I need you to double tap hard. Do that finger real quick. Okay? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Listen, I want to give you an opportunity to give. I want to give you an opportunity to sow. And I don't want to rush past it like I normally do, because I need you to understand that there is no way for you to generate a constant, persistent, perpetual flow and stream of money into your life outside of giving. You can work all day long, 10 jobs. But if you are not a giver, your money will be like putting it in bags with holes in it. It'll be like you got holes in your pocket. And the more money you make, the more money you end up spending out, and you don't even know where your money went. The way to generate a consistent, constant flow of money into your life and to create abundance, to enact the law of increase, to get good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, is through giving. Generosity is the greatest expression of love. God so loved that it gave. Loving is synonymous with giving. You always give to what you love, what you appreciate, what you value. And so, if you have loved, appreciated, and valued what you are receiving on this platform, I want to give you the opportunity to create a flow, a stream of perpetual flow of income and opportunity into your life by giving in support of this platform. I want to give you the opportunity. Notice the terminology that I'm using, okay? I am creating an opportunity for you to be able to experience a perpetual, endless flow of finance and opportunities for productive finance and growth into your life by giving you the opportunity to give. Those of you watching me on TikTok, you see the ways that you can give written above my head. Use any of those that you see there. CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle. Those of you who are watching me on other platforms, you'll see on screen all of the ways that you can give. Again, CashApp, Zelle, PayPal, and Venmo. Take advantage of those means and take advantage of this opportunity to give. Make it a seed and sow so that you can reap. You cannot reap where you have not sown. So if you would like to sow a seed and so inclined to do so, I'm asking you to sow your seed this morning with this platform. Now you can give at any level that you choose, whatever amount that you choose. I am asking and suggesting that you give a seed of $100 in support of this platform to kickstart your flow of abundance and increase into your life. I am suggesting to you that you give $100. Now you can give at whatever level you choose. $1,000, $10,000, $5,000, $50, $5, $10. You can give at whatever level you decide, but I am suggesting that you give a minimum of $100 today to kickstart this perpetual flow of increase into your life. Do so by using the means that's on your screen right now. I thank you in advance for your generosity and for your expression of love and value. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you. Oop, I'm just knocking over my little iPad. I appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing with you again next week in this same space at this same time for our next Emerge Empowerment session. Have a wonderful day.
Some of you are even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
You've been listening to Apostle Isaac Miles, the disruptive innovator, a mentor, an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and the founder and spiritual director at emergelec, Life Enrichment Center. Please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this page. If you'd like to become a partner, you can do so by emailing us at emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Again, that's emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for watching.